have solved over 900 Leetcode problems. I started doing like one of the lists. I've never actually done Neetcode's list, but today we're gonna go into it. So let's just start doing it. Yes, over 900. Top 9.4%. I think this is gonna turn over to top 8% pretty soon after this contest results come in. And yeah, just slowly making my way down. But let's see how to, so how do we solve these problems? Product of array except self. We're gonna go into this. I made another video earlier for these, and if you want to check that out, I guess you could, or you could just watch me do this one right now. So product of array except self. I've already done this one, like probably a lot of these, but the last time I did it was like what, I guess 3 months ago, and then before that it was like November. So given an array nums, return an array answer such that answer at I is equal to the product of all arrays except nums at I. The product of a prefix or suffix is generated to fit into a 32-bit integer. You must write an algorithm that runs in O of n time without using division operation. Cool. So we're given like some list here, and then we want to, what is the product of everything? 2 times 3 times 4, like 12, 24. 24 goes there, right? 1 times 3 times 4 is 12, right? So everything is like, that's not, that number is going to get included. And then curiously too, if there's a 0, then everything is like 0, except for like the one that the 0 was at. Like if there's like 2 zeros, like this is like some kind of observation, but I don't even think it matters for the solution, like the actual solution. Although this is like, an interesting observation. So again, I saw this like 3 months ago, and the core part of this is trying to see like how I could explain it without just immediately saying it. Also, let me be right back because I can hear like this thing and I do not like it. Okay, cool. So product of array except self. Cool. All right, so one, I guess it's not really observation, but there is a technique in this algorithm that are pretty important, and this is why this is like a really important problem actually to do, is the prefix sum. So it's this idea that you can have an array and you just kind of total over like everything. I guess this would be like prefix product, I guess, as opposed to sum. But for 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to have something like what is this? 1, 2, 6, and then what's 6 times 4? 24. So we'll have this, and what this will have is like, literally this is like 1 times 2, this is 1 times 2 times 3, and this is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, right? And so what we can do is we can do a reverse one of it, like going back the other way, and then get something like 4, and then like 4 times 3, and then like 4 times 3 times 2, and then just like 4, 3, 2, 1. So we can do, this is like our prefix, right? And this is our suffix. What is up, zombie killer whale? What is up? What is up? So with this, it becomes easier. I believe it becomes easier to isolate them, although I don't actually even know like that super well because I haven't figured out the solution. But let's see here, prefix. Oh, nice. And this thing cut out. So what is this? 1, 2, 3. So for the 1, we would want everything except for 1, which is curiously happens to be this, right? And then for like this one, we want it to be everything except for the 3. Just need to see where the pattern, how does this work? 1 times 2, 1 times 2, but like this, we don't want the 2. And where would we do that? We would find it for this one and then this one. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay, that's the idea. So with the prefix sum, like if we want to get rid of the 2, it's going to be everything that was before it and then everything that was after it. And that's going to be it for the 2. And then for the 3, like we want to remove this 3. We don't want that. So it's going to be everything before it, everything after it. Oh, and my screen's just stopped working too. So that's great. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me go back into this. All right, so we're doing product of array except self. This is like a classic problem from the Neetcode list, and going over the solution for it. So we want to create like, we have like given some array, we want to create the finishing array, like to have like all the sum of all the numbers except for that one number. So for like 24, because 2 times 3 times 4 is 24, and then we want 12 because 1 times 3 and 4, right, is 12, and then so on. And the solution for this is that we can use a prefix suffix array. Now, this is like a pretty important concept, I think, for algorithms. This is why like this problem is on here, is on this list. And essentially what you can do is you can create a, like, not a prefix sum, but a prefix product, I guess. And you multiply everything out. So 1 times 2, 1 times 2 times 3, 1 times 2 times 3 and 4, right? And you get this kind of thing. And then you do the same thing backwards. So 4 times 3, etc. And this lets you to kind of isolate the product that you're trying to like generate. So for 2, right, we just start that everything was like this all of this column, I guess, has like the 2, and so we can just go 1 before it, and that'll be it, and then 1 after it, and that'll get you everything that's after it. And then the same thing for the 3, where we want to remove the 3. Okay, well, let's just do it here and then here. And the same thing for 4, where we want the 4, we just get all this one, and then we're at the end, so we don't do anything there. And this will give us allow us to get this in like O of n. So we only have to just iterate over these prefix and suffixes at every single point. And all we're doing is just prefix I minus 1 and then suffix I plus 1 if it's in range. So, and then the code for that is going to look something like prefix. There's also another one too, like, you know, they kind of said here, which is a follow-up. You do this in O of 1 extra space, which I've never actually done before. But we'll just stick to this, the actual problem that, you know, most people probably wouldn't be able to solve. So we'll go through the numbers for num in nums, like say add I times equals add I minus 1 times num. And then probably do the same thing. Actually not. Hey, first time here, Skip. Pharaoh, what's up, man? Just doing some of this Leetcode. We're gonna be I'm gonna try doing like some system design stuff later too, kind of going over like all of the, I guess, the books that I've read for system design, just trying to like summarize them, which would probably take a really long time, honestly, but probably be good for some content. Good for some content for anyone who wants to learn, I guess. Okay, so here we'll create this as 1. We'll set it equal to like the length of nums, I think plus 1. I think. And the same thing for this one. Probably should do length of nums like plus 1. I think you literally have to wrap this in parentheses. this, so it actually knows. And then now that we have that, we can go here and then just do it for suffix. And then this is our suffix, which will be, yeah, suffix at I. I could do it. I think this is okay to do them, although you could probably start at the back. I don't know if that's going to be confusing for me. But I mean, regardless, as long as the numbers are there, then it's fine. And so like when we print the pre and the suffix, we can also just test this out real quick and just see like, is this good or did I mess up here? Right, so we get 1, 2, 6, 4, 24, and then we get 1, 2, 6, 24. This was, yeah, definitely messed up. We just reverse it. How do you reverse it? Oh yeah, wait. This is how you reverse. That's how you reverse it. And then we don't need the +1, actually. So here we go 1, 2, 6, 4, and we get 4, 12, 24, 24. So this is perfect. And then now what we can do is just go over it one more time. And then we'll have our answer. It's like this. And then the answer is going to equal the prefix at I-1 times the suffix at I+1. And answer.append value. The only thing is we just need to check the bounds. So like if I is 0, then like something else happens. So then it's like value is equal to prefix or just suffix at I guess at -I. And then this one's probably like, I don't know actually. If I is equal to length of nums -1, then it's just value is equal to prefix at I-1, and then just like else. So go here, and then for the for this is not going to work. This I+1 thing, we need to go for the last element in it, which I could just fix here. And instead we just fill it from the back. Or what I do is I reverse it. Like here. And then I didn't even return the answer properly. And yeah, so this works. Works. And I believe this is fine. So we'll go ahead and submit. And it is not fine. We get 17 out of 24 cases. Our output is incorrect. Yeah, maybe it's this -8 or -I. I don't know why I did that. It's it'll be -1, not -I. -0 doesn't mean anything. No. No. Like if I is 0, oh, it's just suffix at 0. And then this one is probably just I, maybe. No. And if not, it's no, but this can't be that. So take whatever's on the left. This one we should just take whatever's on the right. Yeah, okay, nice. Nice. This should be I+1, like just I+1, like that. Okay, well, yeah, anyways, that's that. Very slow runtime, probably because of these reverses that I'm doing, but I think it's like the general idea. So we went through it again, right? We create a prefix and a prefix and a suffix, fill it up, and then fill this one up, but we're reversing this time, going from the back, and then reverse this. Again, I think this is actually, this is unnecessary. You don't need to do this, but like, because of the way I structured this, I filled it here. I just reverse it. And then we just compute them based off that diagram that was earlier. If it's 0, we only want the suffix. If it's the end, we only want the prefix. And then we just go through and then add the value every time. And return our answer. Okay, the follow-up to this problem is without using extra space. And I think you just use, it's still a prefix suffix idea, but you can do something different, I guess. Where maybe it's as you iterate through here, you just keep track of the prefix. But so like we don't need to do this beforehand because we could just say like, oh, well, our prefix, starts with 1, and then we're like, oh, well, now prefix times equals like number or something. Because it'll be like a running product. But then I don't see the suffix though. I don't see where the suffix comes in. Because I can running do this. And then every point, right, it's just like prefix times that. Right, like you still go through and you're just like, okay, well, it's just a suffix, but but we're still using the suffix. Well, the thing is, like, I would think of this 2-pointer, maybe 2-pointer, where we put whatever's at the end in the suffix, but or we just build the suffix and subtract from it, but we'd have to divide, and we're not allowed to use division. So like we start from the end of the suffix, or I guess here, and then we start just dividing things out as we move on. So wait, what's happening? You can make an output array and it won't count as extra space for this problem. Oh, 1. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. The output array doesn't count. I didn't think about using that though. So I'm guessing that you're supposed to use the output to help with the suffix. Let me see. Answer is our output array, and then we can put in the value into it. So then we're like, oh, what's this one? but we'll get 24. Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to mostly just go over tutorials though, as opposed to me like learning new things. Just how life we live, but I'm trying to just put out more tutorial stuff. So probably just skip it, skip this one, or just look at the solution, I guess. But let me see this. Prefix sum beats. I should actually code this in C++ though. That's one thing I would learn, is doing this in C++. If not nums return, if does length out last out. So this is the idea that I was saying, is that you generate the wait, what? I don't even know this guy. That looks a little weird. Let me go constant space for everything. No, okay, whatever. Whatever. All right, we'll go into the next problem. So next one is valid Sudoku. And then, of course, I've solved pretty much most of these problems, but this one I solved in January of 23. So it's been quite a time. Now for this one, we're going to have determine if a 9x9 Sudoku board is valid. Or okay. Valid Sudoku. Determine if a 9x9 valid Sudoku board is valid. Only filled cells need to be validated according to the following rules. Each row must have these digits without repetition. Each column must contain the digits 1 through 9 without repetition. And then each of the 3x3 sub boxes must contain the digits 1 through 9 without repetition. A Sudoku board, partially filled, could be valid, but not necessarily solvable. Only the filled cells need to be validated. And we just return true or false, I believe, if it's good or not. So this one, like the, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but like this without repetition type of thing, like we can just use a hash to confirm it in O of 1, as opposed to like checking, you know, every single time. And so like we can do go row by row and just use a hash, like a set, to just check like, hey, have we seen this number before? And if we have, then it's not valid, like immediately. Same for the columns, right? So now we're just missing one condition, which is the 3x3 sub boxes of the grid. And for the 3x3 subgrids, we kind of have to use like this mathematical formula. I don't remember it exactly for, you know, doing that, but let's see, like sub grid formula or whatever. I think it's something like row mod. It's like row mod, or it's like the position that we're at mod like the row length, which in this case I think is 3, plus the column like mod like the column length or something. It's like something like this, but this is will let you generate something for when you have like 0 0. Well, 0 0 now maps to like 0, and then like 0 2 like here, or here, I guess this 3, right, would map to like a 1. But it's the idea that you can take like a two-dimensional coordinates and kind of map them onto like a one-dimensional. And then we could plug this in too if we want to look at the math, but I believe it's what, 3, and then what's 0 would be 0 here, and then this one would be what, 0 1 2 3, and it would be 0 1 2 3 3 mod the column length, which is 9. I don't think that's right. Maybe it's divided by 3. Or something. Because then that would be 3. That'd be 4 divided by 3, which is like 1. No. Maybe it's this divided by 3. Yeah, I don't know. Like 3 mod. Don't know. I don't know what the formula is. I would have to like maybe look that up, but okay, so we'll go through here and then we're gonna have the rows, the columns, and then we'll just go through every single row and every single column of this grid and then store them and just check to see like if we've like repeated essentially. I believe that's actually, and we can do those both at the same time. And actually let's call this n. N is equal to 9. And then for j in range, n here, and then go like this. And then we'll just check, oh, if, or like number is equal to like board at I at j. If num in rows, is it rows at I, leave, then we return false. And then like if num in columns at j, then we return false. And then if not, then we return true. And then here's like the subgrid one, which I don't have yet. And then here we need to convert this. So this will be a set for underscore in range, like n. Same for the columns. Cool. Then this one, yeah, the subgrids. It's like if, I don't even know, like, is it index? It's like I mod 3 plus j mod 3. So everything should be constantly put into a 3x3. This isn't the right, but then it would be like if subs, like subgrid at index, return false. It'd be like num in, like whatever the subgrid is. And then this one's gonna, we'll put it here and pop it. Subgrids, or subgrid, I guess. Like grids. Hit the gritty. Okay, this is like generally a solution. I'm not too sure about this mod stuff. We have like this big thing. I think we just want to break it into 3x3, so we're definitely modding it by 3. But this thing is not good. Let me for the product of array sums of self problem. All right, I'll check that out. I'm gonna look up this math equation thing is. Like convert 2D coordinates to 1D. So here, this should be fine. And so with this, it's row times the length of the row plus column. There's no way that's it. I could have sworn you have to modulus it. I don't think that's it. Treating a 1D as a 2D. I think it's this equation. I think it's this one. This is the one I was thinking of. I mod and then I divided, or like I mod and then j divided by or whatever. I think it's like one of these, I feel like, but no, this is definitely one dimensional, two dimensional, and then this one is like I don't even think this is it. This problem is kind of annoying just because you need this equation. If you can't do the equation, then you're just not going to be able to solve it if you don't know what like this equation thing is. But then everything else, I'm like 90%, 99% sure it's good. And then what'd you send me? The zombie. So you do output. What'd you just like straight like this is prefix, and then you keep track of the suffix. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, I mean, it's just like using the output array, essentially. Like, you're allowed to use at least one. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Bjergsen _HS. Thanks for the follow. How's it going? We're just doing some Neetcode, Leetcode. Doing this list. It's going well. Okay, let me see. I'll just look this up. Actually look it up. It's just literally just I divided by. It's not mod, it's just divided. Like just purely. Like that. Okay, For people that want jobs, innovative to create applications instead of hundreds of algorithm problems. It really depends on what your goal is. Depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to get a job at Google, Facebook, then building applications is not going to help you at all achieve that goal because there's like a barrier, right? Like there's like a if that was somebody's goal to do that. I mean, if it's like for startups and stuff, then yeah, build your own startups. Like if your goal is to work at startups, you should be building your own startups or working at a startup. But if your goal is like getting into like Facebook or whatever, there's a barrier. You're not gonna pass this. There's like a big filtration, and that filtration is doing these problems. But I mean, it just depends. If you want to go in the middle, you don't want to do startups, you don't want to do that. You want to go into the middle, then you're gonna need at least a little bit. And I mean, when I say a little bit, like if you just solve like 50 problems, it's not a whole lot, and then you can build applications on the side or whatever that you want to do. But yeah, you go there, or here. You don't really need anything, I don't think, for startups. Although I think algorithms knowledge is actually useful, but probably just for other reasons. Like just for like general like I don't know, I want to say like speed, honestly. Like it feels like it's you have to be able to like really understand how to write for loops and all that stuff, but again, let me see. Oh my god. me see. Oh boy. Let me see, how do I do this? Is it actually this? It's just I times 9 plus j. Is this it? Bro, I'm losing my mind. Alright, let me look at this. Okay, according to it's I divided by 3 times 3 plus j divided by 3. This is like something I just wouldn't know. I don't know how I would even like remember it. And apparently this is wrong. Oh, because I never add it, by the way. And then I could probably have just done this like 2-dimensional, maybe, or something. I don't know. Do FAANG corporations give a higher chance of getting the job to people who have already worked on small or medium companies to people who... Do FAANG corporations give higher chance of getting the job to people that already have worked at small or medium combine in corporation to people that just want to get job in programming for the first time, or medium company in comparison to people who just want to get a job in programming for the first time. I mean, yeah, they will give preference to that, but like it's not a hardcore like set thing, but they give preference to experience. So it's not really like if you have your first programming job, it's like, do you have experience, right? Like at least the way the current market too is set up is that like you really need like a lot of projects or something to tell these people that you have experience. So yeah, it's just like experience. That's like it's not really about whether you work at a small or medium company, but like if somebody's their first time, they've never worked before, yeah, like you're probably not gonna get an interview. The thing is just the interview, I think. But you need like some kind of experience. So either like you did like freelancing, or you did like, you started your own company, right? So like instead of solving hundreds of algorithm problems, maybe you just solved like you built hundreds of applications or something, or you built like one application, you devoted like 500 hours into that application. Well, that will probably be impressive. So yeah, that's that. This one I thought I did this right. Is the number in the rows? Is the number in the columns? Wow. The 9x9 grid. We'll go 9 times. What did I do wrong here, man? What did I do wrong? There's another thing too that, kind of Leetcode helps with is debugging. Like you get like a small snippet of code and you have to like figure out what's wrong with it. It happens all the time. Like I probably might have just typoed something, I don't know. Oh yeah, see, like this is it. Wait, the typo. It's supposed to be J. It's J, not I. But that was definitely bad. Although I still don't know why. I'm returning false when it should be true. I guess my only thing would be that's this equation, but gee, I don't know. Hey, I'm going to start my master's in automation control next semester, and my coding skills are pretty intermediate. What tools do you recommend to improve coding skills in Python, C++, mainly hardware related coding? Thanks for the content, man. No problem. Lee Bon. What would I recommend to improve coding skills in Python, C++? I would recommend the same thing Primogen recommends, right? So if you talk to Primogen, or if you go to his video or whatever on like how to learn like a programming language, he's like, you should do like either Leetcode problems or you should do like Advent of Code problems, which are the same thing, honestly. They're just algorithms, just algorithm problems. But solve those in the language to start. This is going to get you used to everything that's in the library of that language. It'll get you used to debugging the language, to getting error messages, to reading those error messages and understanding those. And then once you're like, you know, kind of solid at that, then you move on to doing projects. So then you start building bigger projects, and then you get better with debugging bigger, you know, bigger problems. Also, if you're doing hardware, you should probably do C++ or C and not Python. Because I'm pretty sure that's kind of what that stuff is, at least for embedded programming. So if you're trying to make like microwaves, or if you're trying to like code your own microwave or something, or refrigerator. Okay, let's see. What did I do wrong? Number. I mean, I could just see which one is printing out bad. We'll see what the sprints. My guess is that the subgrids one is wrong. This equation's not right. Oh, it's not. It's the row. It's actually the row. Wow. Rows add I, add num. Oh. Hold on. It's the dots thing. I misunderstood this. It's the dots. It's the dots. Oh man. If right, it's like literally, if it's a dot, we don't count it. Rip. Okay, so that was the problem, is that I didn't have this dots thing, and I also like messed this up, but the I to the J. But okay, so this code I believe works, and we're good. Just delete these, submit. I don't know how I would remember this equation. I don't know how I would convert this, honestly. Like dividing it by 3 and then multiplying by 3, but yeah, that's a tricky one. Tricky equation, honestly. I feel like it's like math. More math than anything. But here's that's that problem. What is up, Chan Do? Line 17, system math. How'd you come up with that? Yeah, I did not come up with it. I looked that up. Look that thing up. I do not know. How do you derive it though? I don't even know how you would derive this. Like, I mean, I kind of get that, like, okay, what we want is we want like zeros. And we want to like, I guess like kind of, if it goes out of bounds, we want to like, you know, reduce it. But like, it's super weird because you're multiplying by 3 again. So I really don't know. I really don't know. All I know is like, I know it's possible to take a 2-dimensional coordinate and put it into a 1-dimensional coordinate. And then I know I can like look up stuff like that. But even this one is like this one's not really row times length of row plus column. I would need Python for data analysis related to signal processing. Okay. Data analysis, data science. From what I understand, I mean, I know Python's used in data science and all that stuff, so it makes sense. Code and scripts. From what I understand, most competitive programmers prefer C++. Why do you choose Python for C++ instead of... well, I don't even think that the competitive programmers even choose. I feel like most competitive programmers, like, I feel like, I don't know if this is true or not, but like, I feel like they just learn it in college and then they just kind of stick with it because it's like the best language for competitive programming. But I feel like for all the competitive programmers, they like did this stuff in high school, maybe middle school, and then also college. And then they're in college, like you're forced to learn C++. And so they were just like, oh, well, I already know it, so might as well just keep doing it. But for me, I think I'm learning both. For me, I'm learning both. So I'm doing C++ and Python. And for speed, yeah, I mean, but I think there's other languages that are fast that aren't C++. Like, I think it's just more of like the status quo. But like, but anyways, all that to say is I mean, I use Python just because it was for interviews. And but now I'm moving into C++. So like, if you look to, I was doing C++ in college. My data structure algorithms class was C++, but I only solved like 25 questions on Leetcode. So did not do any Leetcode grinding at all in college. Really. But anyways, I use Python for interviews. So that's why I chose Python, because in Python, like, it's a lot simpler. And so you can code very, very quickly during interviews. But yeah, for competitive programming, C++ is better for sure because it's fast. Like you will get stalled in Python basically on code forces. Yeah, also for stuff like 1 divided by 3 in C++, you would see the data type and when you do division on integer type and you lose the rest. Is true of any number except 3. Uses for 10, yeah. All right, let's go into this. I think it's the final one, right? Valid consecutive sequence. I also actually I don't think I went over like the actual code. Okay, so here's the code for this problem. So we're going to create the row set, column set. We're going to have a subgrid set for hashing. We're going to go through every single number, store or grab the number from the board. If it's a dot, then like we don't really care about it. Like if it's an empty space, we're not going to bother. But if it's a number, then we're going to check, oh, have we seen this number before? Is number in this row at like that, at that hash of that? And then we hash again, check if it's in the columns. And then here's the subgrid one. We can use a math equation to convert a 2-dimensional grid of like, row column into a 1-dimensional space of, just that index. And then we can just iterate through and do the same thing where we just check, have we seen that in our subgrid? And we just add everything at the end. So yeah, this is the code for this. And that is all. I can't really talk too much about like how to actually derive this equation. I know that like if you want to do 2-dimensional, you multiply your row times like the number that you want to like peg it to, I guess, but then plus like the column. But I'm not sure why we're doing the division. But I think the core part of this is just that like 2-dimensional space and 1-dimensional space are can be converted. I think that's like a very big takeaway. And this will help you like Googling to get the solution or ChatGPT or whatever. But all right, so that's that. Or medium. Wait, what's up? Are interviews medium hards or medium? In the United States, they're just medium mostly. Like maybe 95% of them are medium, 90% maybe. By the way, this formula on line 17 only works if 2-dimensional arrow, I don't know what arrow means. It only if the 2-dimensional arrow, it is written in continuous memory. I don't know what that means. 2-dimensional arrow. 2-dimensional array. What? I'm mistyping like crazy today. What? On stack, it is always continuous memory. On heap, you have to be careful. Only works if two-dimensional array is written in continuous memory. I mean, isn't it always memory? I mean, I don't know anything about, right? Like, it's just like the length of the board. It's just the length of the board. Just IJ length of the board. It should work fine. Like if I converted this to C++, I think this is fine. It's just division. This is flooring though in Python. Anyways, all right, let's go to the last one. This is gonna be the last one of our array section. So longest continuous or consecutive, whatever sequence. Longest consecutive sequence. Apparently I can click something to go here. Oh, this is the external link. I can click the external link and that actually opens it up, so I don't have to search it every time. Cool. All right, of course we've already solved this one before. When was the last time? Was January 2024, so it's been about 6 months. Given an unsorted array of integers, return the length of the longest consecutive elements sequence. Must run in O of n time. Okay, this one, again, I don't remember too much. I thought that, like, thought you could solve this by, like, storing things in a hash, but... Like, I thought you could solve this by, like, saying, like, 100. You put 100 in, and then you check, oh, is there, like, a 99? Is there a 101? And then if there is, then you, like, increment all 3 of them to, like, have, like, a new one. But I don't think that's it, because I think I actually tried this, like, last week. Because someone else was solving, like, the Neetcode list, and I was, like, solving it alongside. So, but yeah, also, I don't know too much about, like, you're talking about, like, the dynamic. I mean, like on stack, continuous memory, on heap, you have to be careful. But... I don't know. I've been using C++ in a long time. Python handles all this stuff. Like, that's irrelevant for Python. I'm assuming you're talking about C++ and how it works. So what the heck? Have I solved this in C++? Okay, I don't know. But yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about C++. But I don't think I've ever, like, run into an issue where I was like, get me like the size of like an array for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or whatever in C++, and then I like manipulated those values using an equation, and then it like just completely destroyed itself. And I know like this thing too is like, you know, address reference by memory versus like, you know, the actual one. So like they put this here, and I think that's a reference by memory, but I guess I'm probably telling how little C++ I remember now. But I've just never ran a math equation or seen someone run a math equation, and it just like destroys itself. But we'll get there. One day I'm going to be learning C++. Or you just buy more RAM. I don't know if... Yeah, I don't know any of that stuff. All right, so here, how do we do the longest consecutive sequence in O of n? We could just go over. So like, we could just like go over everything. The obvious thing is like sorting. Or wait, shoot, let me actually record this. Okay, so longest consecutive sequence given in an unsorted array of integers nums, return the length of the longest consecutive sequence of elements. You must write an algorithm in O of n. So we'll have 100, 4, 200, 1, 3, 2. And longest consecutive sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, if our length is 4. So for here, I was thinking that you could just like count all of them and then like sort those counts. But that's still like O of log n. It's still log n. And one, we are using some kind of hashing. But I don't know, I feel like this idea works where you just like add it and then you just like check its neighbors and see like, oh hey, like what's like the longest consecutive for these, and then you just update it based off that, right? Like imagine like we get 100 and we're like, oh well 99, this one, that's just like 1 then, because they don't exist. And then we see like the 1, and so we're like, okay, well 1, let's check 0 and let's check 2, and we're like, no, there's nothing there. Okay, cool. When this one's just 1, and then we see the 2 or the 3, and then we're like, okay, well does this one have a 2 or a 4? We're like, no. But then when the 2 gets placed, we grab it here. So we get 1 plus 1 plus this one here, which will give us a total of 3. And then we just set this one to 3. Now this one's a 3, and then now this one's a 3. And then when we hit the 4, we're like, oh, well, what's this one? And then what's this one? And we get like 1 plus like 3. But the problem is that we have to update this one to 4. But it can't channel down, so it would never channel down once we have the 4. This one would be 4, and this one would be 4. These still think like everything is 3. So not too great. Unless you just have to keep channeling down every time you add something. So when we add like the 4, then we just have to check 3, 2, 1 all the way. And when we add like a 1, we have to just keep checking until we don't anymore. I feel like I get to like O of n squared though. Or we go through every key. So we store everything into a set. Store everything into a set. And then we just like start at 1. We just start at the keys and we're like 1, okay, is 2, is 3, 4. And we just mark them as seen until we go to the end and then go to the next one. I think that's actually the answer. Is that instead of doing what I was thinking, is that we just add everything into the... So we first just create a set of everything. So we're like, oh, 100's here, 200's here, like 4 is here, 2 is here, 3, 1. And then we'll just go to 100 and we'll just check like everything that's behind it, everything that's in front of it. So like 99, we'll just keep going and adding. And then mark it as seen. So mark this as seen. And whatever. And then, so for this one, we'd say like, oh, well, we only went like once, or we only like marked like one thing. And then for this one, 4, we'll say like, okay, well, 4, let's go down, let's go here. We'll check 3. Is 3 here? Yeah, it is. Okay, we've seen it. Is 2 here? Yeah, we've seen it. Is 1 here? Yeah, we've seen it. So we mark all of these, and we mark the 4. And we end up getting like a 4. And then we kind of like just save this, you know, result or whatever, and then we just kind of keep going. I think this idea is, yeah, fine. And it should be O of n because we're only going over everything twice. It's like O of 2 to the n, which is O of n. The real Raymond Jones. Do companies care about LO on coding websites? Not in the United States. Not at all. They do not care at all. It is a Not really anything. Maybe some people will be curious about it, but nobody cares. For job opportunities, that is. I like a company. And I guess like I kind of know that that's the case because I kind of do all this stuff and I don't really actually get zero job opportunities from this. So from like, just live streaming and programming. The only thing I get is maybe like referrals for jobs. That's about it. And maybe like I guess like mock interviews and stuff that people can like help me with or DSA help. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the numbers, like so, like I guess the total nums or whatever, or maybe just convert it to a set. Honestly, so just say like nums is equal to set nums, and then for, can you iterate over like this? I think you can. For num in nums, we'll have a scene too, so we can make sure that we don't double up. Like if num not in scene, we're gonna do something else where we're gonna say while, or maybe like what, left is equal to num minus 1, right is equal to num plus 1, maybe like while left in nums and left not seen, then like left minus equals 1, and if it's there, then we have like our count plus equals 1 or something. So C was 1. We'll keep doing that from the left, and then we'll just keep doing it on the right. So while right in nums and right not in scene. And we'll do like right plus equals 1. And C plus equals 1. And then answer is equal to the max of C and answer. Or something. And then we just return answer. Like that. I think this should work. We just roll over. If it's never not in here, then we just kick out. If it's ever not in here, we kick out, and this never was incremented, and so we just get left with a 1. Yeah, and it works. Okay, well maybe not. This is about the TLE, I think. Ho ho, TLE. It's taken a little bit of a minute. When do you update scene? That's true. I forgot to update it. So one, we need to update it here. Scene.add num, and then what we'll do is we'll add it here. So then scene.add left. But before there. And then scene.add right. This will stop it from double iterating over, and should work, I think. There we go. Forgot to do that. Okay. So going over to the code, right, we're gonna create a set of everything. We don't really care about duplicates at all. And we want to hash. We want to have everything hashed. So use a hash map, hash set, whatever you want to do. Python, you can just set. Here we're going to have our scene to make sure that we're not like over iterating. And then we just go through and see, have we seen this number? And then just check all of its connections. And so while left in nums, while it is like exist in the numbers, and then while it's not in scene, right, we can take advantage of that O of 1 hashing, and then just check the scene, increment our count, then go to the next number, and just keep doing that, and then same thing for the right side, and then just compare it to the answer. So yeah, that's that. How do companies choose which people to interview and which not? I guess what I'm asking is how do you make your CV skill algorithms known in your CV? I mean, I think that like if you're trying to make your algorithms knowledge known in your CV, you should like I mean there's like probably one depends on what stage you're at, right? For mid-level. Like they're just trying to like hit like some kind of like buckets essentially, right? Like it's kind of one thing I've maybe talked about, but like so like there's object-oriented programming, right? Within object-oriented programming, like there's a lot of stuff here. If we're talking about for someone who's like a new grad, you know, there's like stuff like I don't know, like I guess inheritance. There's like design patterns. There's like design patterns. There's you know, there's things like testing. Either each of these things are like, you know, you could spend a week, more than a week, probably just trying to master them. There's like solid principle. There's testing, right? Like there's like inside of testing, there's like unit testing. I mean, your software goes really complex, but it's really gonna depend on like when the job and the job board. But like, you know, generally like you're just gonna hit like these things that are on your CV, right? So you'll mention inheritance, things like that. If they were to mention object-oriented programming, if there's someone who's like a company that's looking for like a team lead or like a manager or a senior engineer, and they want like scalable design, well, that's something else that you have to practice, right? So like you're gonna have, you know, skills there, right? And I mean, I could write out all these skills. Maybe one day I'll do that, but like, essentially is that you're gonna be hitting like those things, and then I'm sure there's like uniqueness or maybe interesting like uniqueness slash like interesting stuff that goes into a good CV. But like a good CV for most companies is gonna be like covering like not only that, but like probably gonna have algorithms in it. Like, you know, if we go into like I don't know Google careers L3 or something, I would just like read what do they want, right? I don't know what's this infrastructure. I mean, I don't care. Tel Aviv, Israel. Oh my God, I would hate to be in Tel Aviv, Israel right now. All those bombs going off right next to your Google office. So, one, they want a bachelor's, right? Okay, so like, you know, you probably put stuff that's on your bachelor's or classes that you've taken or something like that. 2 years of experience with one of our programming languages, right? So things that show that you know a programming language, right? So instead of here, it's going to be like some programming language. I don't know if it's C++, right? Do stuff with C++. Write about C++. What are technical things in C++ that you could put on your resume? Otherwise, I don't know. This is like generally my thinking. I should probably like I'm thinking about like paying money for like a coach, but I don't know how much I really want to. But there's this guy on YouTube. He like does like behavioral stuff, and there's also like Juan Solting. Oh boy, but I think the guy on YouTube would be better because Juan Solting charges an arm and a leg. He charges an arm and a leg, but anyway, so DSA stuff, right? So maybe put that on your resume, and then experience building large scale, right? You want stuff like that on your resume, right? Design patterns, C Sharp, Rust, JS. Their take kind. Use them naturally. People ask me to write object-oriented programming code for algo problem, microservices. Yeah, but I'm asking specifically for algorithms. I don't know what you're talking about. You're asking specifically for algorithms for FAANG corporations. Well, like I said, right? Everything I think is it still stands, right? You look at the job description. What are they saying? And then you have experience that is on there, right? Like put this in the chat GPT, go to chat GPT and write this in. What is this really strong candidate? What skills does a really strong candidate have to do these things? If you don't know, like, you know, what is good testing, right? Like put that in chat GPT and it's going to tell you. Like I said, maybe one day I'll go through every single thing about like how important all this stuff is for a resume. But these are skills that like they're going to be generally looking at. Like they want this. They want this. They want the 2 years experience with that. You need to show that. And how do you show that? There are phrases, there are words that like, you know, someone who programs in C++ should know, right? Also, the other alternative too, again, like I said, I've been thinking about doing this because I honestly I'm not sure if I like have like strong skills in this. I'm not a recruiter or anything, I've just talked to recruiters, but it'd be really cool to like maybe even interview a recruiter. That'd be kind of cool too. But like maybe do like some coaching from some person who's like actually helped clients achieve this stuff. Like there's like this guy who does like Amazon behaviorals. Not him. I don't even think the other guy, does he even offer anything? But this guy, he does like behavioral interview prep. It's actually like pretty affordable too, honestly. Like 250 for an hour is not bad. That is not bad. If he's actually good. If he's actually good and has experience, like interview training. I would probably buy something like this. I'm thinking about it, but probably not. Because I think probably need someone with more experience. Someone who's also helped other people. But that's just my approach. That's my approach to all this stuff. And then like this, bro, one salting. Oh my gosh, bro. One salting is so expensive. 1,000. There is so much money in this market. $1,400. $800, and they're just like career consulting. What does that even mean? Career consulting? Resume revision? I feel like it takes like 10 minutes to look at someone's resume. LinkedIn profile revision. Like this is like, oh my god. There's just so much money. Like if you can like position yourself, I guess, like for this like tech stuff. And then if you're a less than 1 year, yeah, they have like this for $400. Which is kind of cool. But yeah, if you're in tech and you have 7+ years, one, you're probably like a million or two. So like this actually, I think this model works so well. This is just crazy to me. It's so much money. For me, it's crazy money for 1 hour. Chi does that for free. Actually, yeah. I mean, for sure, there's people who do it for free. But it's yeah, it's insane value. Like I mean, Chi could totally charge money too. But what was I talking? What was I thinking about? It's just that yeah, no, it's just crazy. Like how much the crazy thing here is that like just how much money goes in this industry. Like there's a lot of people who can do it for free if you're like you know you just go on YouTube channels and you know you I don't know what I'm thinking about. Go to YouTube channels and other stuff, but like and Discord groups, things like that. You can find people who can help you and things like that, but yeah, the one thing I'm just thinking about too is just how much money like because the thing is that like I feel like most software engineers are just like actually like completely loaded. And there's also software engineers who like want like services like this. And so you're literally just charging like a little bit of it. And he has this like payment plan thing. US customers only. It's so unreal. And One Salting is like pretty big too. Like they've got like a pretty massive LinkedIn following. And also like just on every social media thing, I think. No, not really. 50K subscribers is pretty small for YouTube. Another thing too I don't like about this guy's content, he always has this like stupid little he has this like stupid little baby Yoda thing and he always just loves like smashing his screen with it. I hate it so much. This thing, I hate this thing so much. Every single time he just starts like slapping his screen with it. It is like so annoying. He actually comes up, I'll say this though, he has like a lot of really good advice for sure. He has a lot of really good advice. He's probably like one of the only recruiters. But like this thing, like he has this stupid little baby Yoda. They're just slapping it on the screen. He wasn't slapping with it yet. But every video. Oh my god, his content is so bad too. It's so bad. Like, but like he comes up with like really good advice, but like he'll literally just repost the same video over and over again for like a month. On his TikTok at least. I guess he's not doing this on YouTube. Oh, here it is. Like just this thing, I hate this so much. And does it in every single video. Like losing my mind, man. Just people who just like suck at at making content. I mean, I guess he's got more subscribers than me though, so I can't talk. But maybe one day. And then this guy, I think he's like also offering a course. I think he offers a course. He like had like a live stream where it seemed like he was offering a course. I'm going into monetization stuff now. Get a free video from my course, speed run to promotion to see if the program is right for you. The advice section is a chef's kiss. How many people do you think are on his Discord? He's got 5,000 people in here. Life engineers. Oh wow, this is very affordable. This is a Patreon though. It's not his course. Speed run to promotion. But like, yeah, like stuff like this, you can charge a lot of money. Speed run to promotion, drop some course like this. You have like coaching people for their promotion, and then when they get promoted, they make like $100,000 more, unironically. It's 10,000, I think, but it's $100,000 more. Like you can charge a lot of money for that. Who are paying this money to write a CV is crazy, yeah. 90% of our clients land interviews within 3 months, 70% land offers. Like this is a really good guarantee if this is true. I don't think Juan Sultan would lie for all like the stuff I guess I would say that's bad about them. But if you can offer this kind of guarantee, this is like the best like deal that you could ever make like in your life, honestly. Because when you get a job, you're making way more than this as a tech person in the US, in the United States. Because I'm a little bit, studying this stuff, right? Because I'm trying to like think about, monetizing and I may be working in this space, or maybe like putting out like something in this space. But yeah, if you can guarantee this, I mean, this is like amazing deal. You drop $1,000 and you're kind of guaranteed. That said, I don't know. Probably most people. I don't know if this applies to most people or whatever, but career consulting. This sounds like so stupid. This sounds like the biggest scam. Learn what to look for. This sounds like so stupid. Learn what to look for in a job. $1,000 for resume revision and a LinkedIn profile revision. $1,000. Resume revision, LinkedIn profile revision. And then $2,000, you get all of that, but they can auto apply to jobs for you. And they will apply to 50 jobs for you for $2,000 or for an extra $1,000. And they'll expand horizons and apply to 50. They'll apply to 50 jobs and they'll cast a wide net off those 50. They'll give you a job search strategy. Learn to leverage your LinkedIn profile and open sources. Create your strategy. Build connection. Yeah, this is like way, way, way too much. It's good, I guess, for high ticket sales. Interview preparation. Wow, they give you interview prep too. And I feel like their mock interviews are gonna be so bad. $500 for resume revision if you only want that one. $500 to review a resume? Bro. Anyways, yeah, I don't know about Juan Sulting, but that said, this Dan creator guy, this is like actually affordable, I think. If you can just like get like some kind of idea, like he'll go over your resume. Not only is he going over your resume, he's also going to give you like a kind of mock interview over like your He'll critique basically your, behavioral stories and stuff. This is probably like more relevant for senior engineers though, like the new grads. This guy just puts out like just tons of stuff. And his view counts are low, but I think the quality's good. Just nobody actually cares about learning stuff. So this guy seems like a cool guy. I would pay for his thing. One whole thing I don't even know what you're getting really. Omega lol only 50, bro. That's insane. $50? So crazy, bro. So crazy. This is a get rich quick scheme. I don't know if it's a get rich quick scheme. I wouldn't call it that. It's probably just, I mean, they can just charge it. If it feels like that, like if you have like Google on your resume, you can just do like the shadiest stuff and just get away with it. Like just like Algo Expert 2. Where like bro, you can't even compare Algo Expert to Neetcode, but like you can just say, oh, I work at Google, and then people just like start throwing money at you because like they also want to work at Google. That's what it feels like. But like this guy puts out this is worst videos for learning algorithms. But you have like Neetcode's I would say it's infinitely better. Because with Neetcode, look at this, you're just getting just pure knowledge and it's all free. Like this is valuable. If you want to give your money to Neetcode, yeah, sure. Like, don't do Algo Expert, but just do Neetcode. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was mega lolling at that company charging $1,000 more for only 50 applications. That's nothing. Yeah, like 50 applications is literally nothing. That's not even gonna like give you any result. Anyways, all right, we finished the arrays and hashing. So next we're gonna go into two-pointer and stack stuff. And that'll be that. Yeah, the one salting charging 1,000 extra dollars. $500 just to review your resume. It's so stupid. It's a hard time finding new grad positions. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Also, I interviewed this girl, Sierra Cade, and I talked to her how'd she get her internship, because it's like super hard everywhere. And it's not like she hasn't gone to like a like a crazy school or whatever. Oh, but she got an Uber internship. And I asked her for advice, what she do, and she was just like, hey man, go on LinkedIn, message people. Like there's like a lot of recruiters, like Recruiter or I don't know, software engineer hiring. There's a lot of like internship thing posts that people make, but she was like basically like, you can go here and apply to things. We are hiring freshers, entry level candidate, right? But like you can kind of go here. She said that like that helped her. And then she said going to in-person events. So it's kind of like what I maps onto what I think. I think you just kind of have to do that. Like this guy we're hiring, come join my team at Microsoft. If you're passionate, right? And you just like comment on it, or you DM him. Yeah, comment or DM. I think that's like the way. In my opinion, writing a resume / CV is not that complex. It's all about making bold / confident claims. Besides that, some people just straight up lie. Other than that, it's not much you can do on a resume that will improve your chances. There's a lot of stuff, but yeah, I mean, I think it seems like it's like a pretty easy thing to do. Like there's like the numbers one where you want to add numbers, you want to make sure it's really concise, you want to make sure that you're not adding like I've seen some really bad resumes, so I wouldn't even take it that way. Like in like 2018, 2019, looking at my friends applying to internships, and they would have like the most god awful resumes. It would just be like really hard to understand. I wouldn't say a resume is easy. So a lot of people just like, if you say it's easy, a lot of people are just going to take that. They're going to hear that, and what they're going to hear you say is, Oh, well, let me just type in random words. It needs to be concise. You need to have it like structured well. You need to make sure the format's right. You make sure there's like you need to make sure there's no spelling errors. It's not like a super easy thing. But I don't know. I mean, for some reason, people like when they write, they just like don't care at all or whatever. But also, there's also some concepts too, and like kind of tricks. There's little tricks that you can do on the resume, and that can like probably boost it. So like using more numbers. People like numbers a lot. At least ChatGPT can help nowadays in fixing some obvious mistakes in resumes. Yeah. Resume is CV is just advertising. You need to advertise yourself. I'll say it's probably like copywriting. It's like more like sales. I would probably say it's like a sales pitch. Do we want to do stacks stuff? Do some stack tutorials or? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's like you're selling yourself. You're selling your skills. Yeah. Do I want to do stack stuff? I don't know. I mean, how much time do I have before I have to leave? I got 1 hour. We got one more hour here, which is really more like 40 minutes probably. That's probably enough to do like a couple stack problems. So we're going to stacks. Math at the bottom. That? I don't know what you're talking about. Math at the bottom. That. Maybe math at the bottom. Okay, here we go with valid parentheses. So I solved this problem in November of 2023 because it is probably a little bit too easy for me. In Neetcode. Yeah, Neetcode talks about math too. He covers math. Pretty comprehensive, honestly. Okay, so valid parentheses. I solved this problem November 2023. Last, given a string s containing characters, determine if the string input is valid. It's valid if the open brackets and they're closed, that the open brackets are closed by the same type. Open brackets must be closed in the correct order. Every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. So like here, we've got like an open and a close of the same type. Open, close, same type, open, close, open, close. Open, close. Incorrect types. Not good, so we return false, right? And I guess it doesn't even talk about this either, but like, you know, something like this, I think also is bad. So if it were like this, but then we like do this is bad because they're incorrect types. At least that's my knowledge. So this one's, yeah, easy stack problem. If you don't know what a stack is, it lets you, it keeps track of elements in the order that, not really the order that it's right. I mean, I guess it is. So if you had 1, 2, 3, you can actually just remove this element in like O of 1 instantly, right? And normally in like if you had like a linked list or something, or I guess not a linked list, but if you just had like some kind of array of like numbers, normally what happens if you want to like remove the element, you have to do it slower. Because like removing it is like kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like in most cases it's not, but like if you're doing like C++ and you have an array and you want to remove that element, then it gets really difficult because you basically have to like make a new one to remove it. But anyways, with a stack, you can actually remove it very quickly. So in like O of 1. So for this problem, we can just go through and instead of like constantly, I don't even know what the brute force solution would look like for this, but like instead of like going through every single time and like scanning and then removing very slowly, we can just remove it once. So we can keep track of everything that we add. So like open, 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 right? Just make sure that we're always adding opens here. Make sure we always add opens, and then when we see a close, we pop. So we kill it. then we pop, and then pop. And then if we see a close and their stack is empty, then we know we need to return false. Or if we see one that has a wrong mismatch. So the idea for this is that we're going to have like 4 CHN, or we'll have our stack. And then we'll do 4 CHNS. And then we probably want like the thing like this. So we want to make like what the corresponding match would be, I think. I'll finish typing that. But then we'll say like if CHN closes, if not stack, or I don't know, like the pair at like CH is not equal to stack at -1, is not equal to this top of the stack, then we just return false. And okay, cool. Then we return false. If CHN opens, then we'll just add it to the stack. We'll have to open to the stack. And then if all of those, none of those like bad things happen, then we just return true. And for this, we just need to define closes as like, honestly, you could hash it. I don't even know if it would matter for this problem, but I really don't know. How do you do like, is it like just set and then you can just do set of like open? Or wait, hold on, I got it. Like this, but close, close, close. Like that. Then you convert that into a set. That's what you do. And then for the opens, you can do something similar where it's like here, here, here. Like that. And then I want to do like pairs also, but we're just like an open connects to like a close. And then a like open connects to a close. And open. This is probably like the hardest thing of this problem is like writing out all this stupid stuff. But cool. So like now when we see the oh man, I reversed them. Big rip. Cool, yeah, so create these things here, and now that we have like the closes things, we can just check, is it in closes, and then if the stack, if the pair is like the same, return it untrue. I think it's fine. And we just kill it pairs. So yeah, there's this, and okay, I messed it up. It's also, we need to check, make sure that the stack is empty. That means that everything was closed. So if length of stack, Python looks so ugly compared to C++. Yeah, you get used to it. The thing that I love over Python is that like when I'm coding in C++ is the fact that I have to type out so much stuff. How do you check if something's in a set in C++? It is like so verbose. So verbose. You have to type in so many words just to like come up with it. So yeah, I like being able to just type things fast. Although like I said, I'm gonna be doing both, but I'm gonna be coding in both so that I can actually, I guess, have a more balanced opinion. So if the length of stack is greater than, or like if stack has elements in it, then we can just return false. And that's the case that I missed, I believe. Okay, it is not the case that I missed. Open. Oh, because I'm never popping? Bro. How did I mess up all this stuff? It's kind of cringe. Kind of cringe. All right, there we go. So there's a stack solution. It also probably runs faster because I'm using sets for this like checks. Although I don't think you need to do that. But yeah, cool. So that's this problem. A nice Leetcode easy. We'll mark it off. We get min stack for the Polish notation and all that. So we'll go here to a min stack. And not this, but this little link. Let me... For this problem, you don't need any stack. You just use the input string and you can evaluate the content of the string without other data structure. Yeah, you probably could. With like regex, or you can even use pointers if you want. I'm guessing you're talking about the other question that I saw, valid parentheses. And actually, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So I don't know if I want to go over this one. I kind of wanted to just go over the hashing. I don't want to maybe spend too much time on this. What we'll do is we'll solve like an easy-ish algorithm problem. So I'm gonna get bored doing like this Neetcode stuff. Because I think I've already like solved like all these stuff before too. So we want probably something harder. Do something harder. Longest substring is a vowel in order. Have I done this? No, I haven't. A string is considered beautiful if it satisfies the following conditions. A, E, I, O, U has to have a vowel. The letters must be sorted in alphabetical order. All A's before E's. For example, strings are considered beautiful, but this one's not sorted. Given a word, return the length of the longest beautiful substring of word. No substring exists. Return 0. Okay. So this one seems like it might be sliding window. Maybe like sliding window. So we just go A. Everything is also vowels. So that's cool. So A, E, I, O. But then this one we get an A. So that means that we need to like kill like everything basically. We've kind of reached our limit. So then we like go here, here, back to here, and then we go back. Then we remove it because we see another A. It's out of order. And we just keep expanding while it's in order. Only thing is that for the window, how do we tell? How do we check if the window is like solid? Or how do we check if it's bad? Probably just alphabetical order, right? Just ord. Just check what was the last one that was inserted and then check what was the last one inserted and then compare it. So like if there's a O, we know that like A is better than O. Yeah, that's like an easy comparison. Yeah, this is like a, okay, we'll try to do this really quick. So left is answer 0 for R, CH, and enumerate. Can't we just brute force? What is brute force? O(n) squared. You check every substring. You check all of these. Then you check all of these. It's O(n) squared. It's not going to work. For 5 times 10 to the 6th. Kind of an interesting thing. Most people don't know this, but I think that like, you know, if you run like a command like print and you run a for loop that's 10 to the 6th, it'll actually take like maybe 2 minutes to run on your computer. And I think if you make it 10 to the 7th, it'll probably take like an hour to run on your computer. Which is not good enough for Leetcode. But I'm pretty sure it's even interdependent. So like if you were to type in like for I in range, you just did like 10 to the 9th. Here, I know this will take days to run on your personal computer. You just run that. It'll take, yeah, I think a day or at least an hour for sure. But anyways, you can kind of tell based off whether or not this thing will crash based off of you know, like the things that you put in here. But yeah, you can't brute force this. You can't do O squared, you need to do sliding window. My solution for valid parentheses, oh boy, are we gonna see some crazy regex here in Ruby? The zombie killer whale cock. Oh, there we go. There we go. The zombie killer whale certified cocker. Man is insane. Insane. I don't know how he does it. All right, so start these with 0 for our C8 or CHN enumerate word. What we're doing is we're gonna start adding to our window, I believe. Add to the window, and then keep track of what the previous was too. Wait, no. Is it bad if I do previous actually? No, I don't think so. I think it's okay. Oh, and then the nums we have, or like maybe it's a stack too. Hey, maybe it's a stack as our window. 'Tis the season. Don't even need a previous. We use a stack. At Real Raymond Jones, did you write it like that, or did you use some software to obfuscate it? Yeah, Zombie Killer Whale's on another level, man. He is on a different level. You don't know his profile. So you can pull up his profile. This is his profile. So he is a Leetcode guardian, man. He is 0.55%. And a lover of Pepe the Frog, and memes. Okay, so where we at here? We're like the window. No, yeah, add to the stack, I think. Or is it just while stack and stack at -1 is greater than the current one? Then left plus equals 1. So we also need that the left is less than the right. And then we'll do left plus 1, and then we'll remove. We have to remove that element from the window. So then we just deck it. And we just like deck.pop left. We don't even it's only like literally the link though, but whatever. Okay, answer is equal to the max of answer and then like right minus left, like +1. And then we just return answer. This is like 90% of the code. Cool. So we'll do A, E, I, because we'll have A as the thing. We'll compare, okay, well, what's the last one? A and E. A should be less than E, right? A is less than E. And then left is less than right. +1. Pop it. So then once we hit, we just pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I think this might work. We get 30. Curious. Curious, curious. I need to add it to the list. I never do that. Okay, now we get 7. What did I do wrong here? What did we do wrong? Okay, yeah, super weird, right? Like, A and E should be fine. Maybe I just flip this. Nice. Okay, it works for this, fails for this one. Oh no. Isn't it bad to create the habit of writing obfuscated such ugly code? I mean, it's not really like a habit. Like I think it's just like a second thought process, right? Like it's like I think it would be like coding in C++. There's no habit that's built. It'd be like it's just like you just change your thinking style, right? It's like writing C++ and then writing JavaScript or switching and then writing Python. Like it's just like an extra ability I think that you gain. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What? Wait, that's perfect though. A-E-I-O-U? Why not this? A-E-I-O. Why not this? Oh my god. Each of the 5. Oh, oh, and you have 5 unique ones. Lovely. Oh, that's great. Oh my god, that's annoying. Because that means I messed this up. So it's like counter. And then every time you're supposed to add it to the counter. Letter minus equals letter. If C at letter is 0. I'm confused. If C at letter, no, wait. Take the letter, check it. Oh yeah, subtract it. C at letter minus equals 1. And then if the length of C is equal to 5. I really like kind of messed myself up by that. Okay, cool. Now we're good. This is fine. This is a sliding window. And maybe I'll make like some video on sliding window one day. But cool. I don't even know if I need this deck at all, but we just kind of went with it. So whatever. Not sure if I need this at all. Cool. Okay, so for this problem, we are having like some longest substring. I feel like I've seen a lot of problems where longest substring is like sliding window, or maybe there's like a couple where you have like some longest connections or whatever, and you want to like, you know, substring being like their consecutive or whatever, contiguous sequence. And I feel like it's kind of leads into sliding window. Or maybe it was just that I solved like this Leetcode problem, this one yesterday, and solved longest substring without repeating characters. And I was like, oh, that's sliding window. But anyways, for all of these problems, I think like the thing that I learned from BetSimp is that like you can create like your window or initialize like left and like initialize like the left pointer. And then you can do your window. So you have like some kind of window. Not always like, you know, it can be anything. In this case, I had like a deck and a counter. But for this one, I just had like a set. That was me initializing my window, and that was was gonna be storing it. This one we're checking repeating characters. We use a set to hash things that are repeating, so we don't get duplicates. But then initialize a window counter, and then you do like this like loop, like for a loop through like R, or like through the right side, and then some condition to remove from the window. Right, we have like some condition. Whenever we remove from the window, we obviously increment the counter, the pointer, and then we just like you know, do some operations. In this case, right, we want to pop that left letter, and then in this case, we're just like removing the scene from it, and then incrementing the counter, and then we just check at the end. So add back to the window, add back into window, and then check for the answer condition. So this is how I'll do like all these sliding windows. Finish this one in 12 minutes. So anyways, that's that. And oh, I think we'll call it. I think we'll call it there. I'm gonna actually submit this to you. I might use this code later, maybe for an explanation. But cool, I'm gonna end stream pretty soon, this 2-hour mark, and then in the future I'm gonna do, or maybe in like an hour, maybe 2 hours or something, I'm gonna go and start going over all of the system design stuff. So I think I like followed this guy's guide, and I want to like make some content on going over this stuff. Yeah, in the wrong hands, Python can look cursed. Do you also do cohorts? No, I haven't started CF, probably at some point. Yeah, I don't know if zombie code, I don't know if he knows C++ actually. I don't think I've ever seen you code it. No, I'm creating my own programming language, but I like the idea of showing off ELO as flexing. So we'll probably do it soon. Nice. Can you link that GitHub repo? Yeah, I can link it. Yeah, so I'm gonna, maybe in about 2 hours, I'm gonna go over these, like these books. So I've read these and probably try to like summarize them. Here's a link to the GitHub repo. 10 out of 10 would recommend. You'll see me recommending this probably like 50 times. And I think Simon is still doing his like crazy streaming hours. Well, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to see that because I'm going to be doing this stuff. Bulimic porcupine. No problem, man. I can get by with it. I just have to look up documentation. I just know a little, yeah. Okay, nice. Big with C++ is you can get away with using 10 to 20%. The rest is unnecessary. Yeah, my limited, like, I think right now I'm just limited to like for loops and while loops. And what I need to do is like do all these like easy questions I'm doing and just like start practicing it in C++. Would be like int I0. And then, or not I, it's left. I want to say left is 0. Int answer is 0. And then for int right, 0 right less than s dot length, because it's a string, and then right plus plus, pop it over, get our ch, which is the s at right, and then while. I actually don't have, I know I need the unordered map too, right, for my window. Unordered map, int, not int, is it char, int, counter. And then, I don't know, what's the doubly linked list? I don't think I've used that before. Oh, it's called a list. I remember that. I remember list. So we say list. List. And then we storing chars. And it'd be like, I guess my list or I don't know, list. Call it D. And then what we can say is while. I don't even know how to use list. I've never used the linked list thing in Python or in C++. We have like the while condition and just like remove from it. So it'd be like left plus equals 1. Then like if C at, or like letter is equal to S at L. C at letter minus equals 1 if C at letter is equal to 0. Then we like delete it. I don't even know how do you delete key from hash map in C++. Just dot erase. C dot erase letter. Oh, and I'm not even adding in the semicolons. Cool. Yeah, I think it's like something like this. Anyways, just want to play around with it for a bit. I'm gonna end. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'll go to this doctor's appointment for my face. Yeah, like probably 2 hours, maybe three, but I'll be going over system design stuff. Just trying to like basically doing, it'll be like my 40 hours or whatever of like reading system design books in like 2 hours or something, just like a Thing like that. Cool. All right, I'm gonna see if I can, I guess, find someone to raid too. I don't. Apparently, like just nobody's online on a Monday morning. Apparently. No leak coders. Any leak coders? No one. Nobody. The real Raymond Jones. What's your goal with programming? What's my goal? I mean, my overarching goal, I guess, for life, like my overarching goal for life, I think probably like my biggest, let's see here. Let's go intangibles, right? Like what do I want? Um, what is like my driving force, right? So like I think probably in high school or something, I realized like I was thinking like, oh, okay, well I just need to get a college degree, and then because like basically I think that was basically just what my like mom was pushing. He was like, get a college degree, get a college degree. Not even get a college degree, but it was like get a college degree and then you jump off that, right? And you can kind of like make enough money to survive, right? And so I kind of that was like my driving force for all of high school and college was just like, okay, let me like try to be able to support myself. But I did programming because I like programming, right? Like, I mean, there's multiple ways to support yourself, and you don't need to do programming if you're trying to get rich or something like that. But in my case, I love programming, so I just leaned into. I already knew when I was young. I already knew when I was like 16 that like, okay, there's multiple ways that you can make a lot of money. Just find something that you enjoy, and you can do that. And so I just found that, and so I found programming. That was the thing that I enjoyed, and so I was still like, going for this goal of like, okay, let me support myself, and graduated college, and I was like, oh well, shoot, like I have a job now. I did it, and I was like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now? What's the point? Like actually, like what's the next thing? I kind of like spent 6 8 years or whatever trying to get to this point where I can just like support myself financially and get a job and like work or whatever. And I'm probably making more money too than most people in the United States because programming pays very well. So like I was kind of like just playing video games basically for like maybe a year and a half actually, maybe like 1.5 years, just playing video games and vibing, man. Going to work and playing some World of Warcraft or something. And yeah, just chilling, probably for the first time. But then I've kind of found like this new one or like this new kind of thing, which is that like, okay, well, now I want to try like helping people, and that's gonna be like that is the driving force for kind of everything now. Is like, okay, well, how can I help people? And because I've kind of already got like the self-sustaining thing done. What is up, Midnight Simon? I have the self-sustaining thing done, and so yeah, now it's like this next one, which is like, okay, well, let's try to like help people. And so it's probably gonna start with like, okay, mom, and then like viewers too, or like other programmers, and then probably go into like people who are just like in less environments. But that's it. I don't know yet. This is actually kind of very very vague. I don't know yet what it's gonna look like, but I would like to do something that would make society better, essentially, because I think I have that ability to. Anyway, so you asked me like what's my drive with programming. I mean, I don't. It's just a tool. I mean, I like it. It's fun. There's no goal really. As it stands now, I'm literally just like I'm trying to learn C++, and then I am still doing Python stuff. But maybe I'll try to go into machine learning, or I have like literally no clue. That's don't have any idea. So do you still have a job right now? Nope, we do not have a job right now. Do not have a job. But yeah, so like I quit my job like a year ago, and yeah, like probably literally a year ago. So it's been like 365 days of doing this. But I'm still like trying to think, what's gonna be happening, things like that. But like one is just learning, I guess, learning, doing DSA and stuff and all that. How far are you into learning C++? I mean, I've learned C++ before. I coded it like exclusively in college, but right now I've used unordered map before. So I've used 2 problems using unordered map, so I'm getting good at that. And then I've never used list, at least, you know, not for like the past like 3 years. So I'm doing list right now, trying to figure out how to do that. And then I can do for loops. I can do for loops. I can do hash maps, I think, but probably like splitting strings and stuff. Just going over with that. I never used list either. I used it sometimes in Python. Sometimes I'll use it in Python, like not here, uh but sometimes I need like a linked list in Python. Not all the time though, but like it just so happened to be that I'm literally just solving problems, right? But this data types are STL, not C++ itself. Data structure, yeah. Yeah, I want STL. I want STL. I want the standard library. But yeah, anyways, but like yeah, goal with programming goal right now is like one is like, okay, well, how am I gonna help people? I guess just to follow up on this question. How am I gonna help people, right? It was like, okay, well, I can get a programming job again, and then I can start making money, and then I can start like, you know, using that money to kind of like, you know, kind of form things better for society and things like that. And then also, right, like I'm also thinking about like doing like business stuff. So starting a business is also another thing I'm gonna do, or will be doing. And I'm technically am currently doing it. I currently do have a business that I'm running. But getting a full-time programming job is gonna, you know, trail with this, and then it's gonna trail with this. And I think this is like probably like the logical step, essentially. Yeah. Anyways, those were my life goals and my pursuits. Makes sense, yeah. So I think C++ is particularly I want to learn it because I want to be able to program fast, and C++ is a fast language. Like I'm already good at Python, so I'm good at that, and I don't need to do anything else. And the C++ will let me just like build like just tools faster. I can go embedded and things like that, and I can basically kind of like dominate, so to speak. And also I can dominate too on code forces, maybe. Like I can actually, you know, solve problems and stuff. It would probably be harmful to learn, right? We didn't know what code looks good. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. Like there's no bad habits. I don't know if I believe that, right? Like I don't know if I believe like, oh, it's a bad habit. Like, oh, like imagine like you say like, oh, well, you're coding in PHP. You're getting like a bad habit from that. It's like, well, not necessarily. Like, I mean, like, it's just like you switch your modes, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm going to learn C++. Oh, I'm going to start picking up like bad habits, and that's going to like fuck up my Python code. I don't know. At least that's my interpretation, is that like, I think you can like switch your mode of thinking. I think people think that like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like it's just like learning a language, right? You can speak multiple languages, and it's not going to impact your primary language. Like English versus Spanish versus like Arabic or something. Anyways, yeah, so that's all that. I'm gonna end stream, and looks like there's nobody to raid too, so what I prefer raiding people who are like not coding games. I mean, as I know Twitch loves game dev, but this person's web dev. I just prefer like someone who's just not doing games. HTML parser from scratch, Zig. Live coding, rock. I don't know, man. I don't even know who this person is, but superhuman, blue chat driver, and shooters. This doesn't look like web dev. This looks like game dev. Whatever. Now, Raymond Jones doesn't have anything to do with the language. He just writes obfuscated code on purpose. Well, it's like, no, but it's not like you're saying like obfuscated code, but it's like you're saying like he's writing bad code for fun. But it's like, have you heard of cold golf? Code golf? Like this is like an actual activity people do. It's just where you just try to write something in like the shortest amount of time. Like, I mean, just people just like it. Right? Like it's not like, oh, he's just writing it just for no reason or like because he's like bad. Like he's intentionally doing it as a challenge, like for himself. It's like I don't know. Like I personally, I don't think it will. Maybe it will. You know, maybe when Zombie's at his production environment, people are gonna be asking him, "Zo Zombie, why the fuck are you doing this? You cannot write that one liner of code. What the fuck?" But I think that like you can just kind of like just say like, "Oh wait, I just won't do that." That's my thoughts. But again, I don't know. Oh, okay. Also, I think I'm gonna maybe I'll make the leaderboard public. I don't know. So I've got like my Twitch leaderboard, but I'm making one for like my coaching people. But actually, I don't know. Never mind. I could make another one too that's just like more public. That's like passive leaderboard or something, but for people who are like learning. Whatever. I'm gonna update this though so you can see the problems that everyone's solving every week. I think. Anyways. Alright, I'm gonna doing a lot of yapping, guys. A lot of yapping. We're going to head out and peace, man. We're at almost 1,000 problems solved. I'll see you guys. Yeah, your time is up. 2 hours. Heck yeah, it is up. I got a doctor's appointment in like 15 minutes. I'm gonna go to that, and then I'll be back to do system design for 2 hours. Peace. Good luck, guys. Get to solving some problems, and I'll see you